Good morning. I'm already off to a rough start. Give me a sec. I'll post this video. I'm trying to get in a better spot. Give me 1 second. I'm going to post this and I'll get started. I have a lot to talk about this morning. We have this lovely moon energy still kind of like hitting us. Give me 1 second. Hang on. I'm still kind of like learning how to use these moon energies to like jump into them, because I feel like I'm kind of like getting kicked around like a hamster in a ball otherwise. So I'm kind of learning how to really use these energies. Give me 1 sec. I'm just posting this video. All right. So we have lots going on, as usual, just kind of like the same stuff, different day, right? So, I'm seeing the light do weird things. So basically just kind of same old stuff. We're working on this ascension path. We're still, doing the same things. I don't know if that's, the electricity is kind of doing weird things. So basically we're seeing in 3D, I'll start out with a little 3D news and then kind of jump into question and answers. You can type whatever you want below. If you want to know about your own life, just be really specific. The more specific you are, the better I can answer it. We're seeing Trump is not actually draining the swamp. And he's basically employing even worse people than Hillary. We're seeing he just hired the new treasurer of the United States, which would be someone who worked for Goldman Sachs and basically worked for George Soros himself. I guess they say worked for the devil himself. So you're kind of seeing, I don't know, maybe it might lead one to believe that maybe we could fall back on what I was saying before the elections, that it doesn't matter who the president is, that they're just basically a new world order puppet anyway. So it doesn't matter who we put in the presidency, it's just the same thing. Like, you didn't really have a choice, that was an illusion. I do know that I keep saying all the Trump people will be very upset later. I'm not really sure what that message means, I just know it's very accurate. We're seeing bad fires in 3D. This goes along with what I talk about. Unfortunately, I had someone tell me this morning that they like this world. They like the Matrix. They just learned how to fit into it. And basically, they're going to stay in the Matrix and they love it. And they don't want to wake up and they don't want to ascend or whatever. I don't even know. But just that's great. But did you know 3D is burning down? Earth, Wind, and Fire are destroying that world. So I might think twice before I decide I want to stay in the third dimension forever. Because those kind of people that choose to do this will be relocated to another planet to learn for 75,000 more years, another cycle. Which seems like a long time to me. So to me, now is the time to change. Now is the time to ascend out of this, because you have to be really careful what kind of choices you're making right now, because you could align with the wrong system. And I'm being very careful that I don't align with these systems and get trapped here karmically. And I would kind of recommend everyone doing that. So you're just seeing this kind of stuff like on a bigger scale. Israel is on fire as well. These fires have not yet to be contained. It is raining here. It's just another rainy day in America here, right? But there's really crazy things going on everywhere on a planetary level. It's getting kind of hard to deny. Let's see, I have really good news from Australia. Speaking of thunderstorms and rain, right? They had a rare thunderstorm which provoked, they said, an asthma condition in Australia, killing people. It basically was toxic air. Thousands of people had to be treated. They said it was like the same equivalent as if 150 bombs had gone off across Melbourne. And this has happened before. It's basically toxic air and it's killing people. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these like bird die-offs, sea die-offs. Like when the air becomes so toxic that you breathe it and you die. I think that we're kind of realizing maybe we have problems on a planetary level. Maybe we should now go back to caring about the earth, because we don't want to breathe toxic air. I'm not a really big fan of chemtrails. This reminds me exactly like chemtrails or possibly some kind of HAARP storm, whatever it is. But I'm not a fan of chemtrails because I believe they target certain blood types. They do. Aluminum has different effects on different types of people. So it's just not good to be breathing in aluminum, toxic waste, basically hazardous waste that people don't want to dispose of properly, so they're putting it in our air. And I'm never really going to be a fan of that, because my body seems to be able to kind of filter that out, but a lot of people's can't. People's bodies aren't designed to filter out these kind of toxins like me. So it's ultimately just becoming really dangerous, and we kind of need to go back to caring about the earth. I think, oh, that next topic that's really appropriate, I go right back into Standing Rock, right? Speaking of caring about our earth, right? I see that the government is trying to cut off food and supplies there and just using dirty tactics, you know, much like using water on people in freezing conditions when they know they don't have the ability to warm themselves back up. Just basically torture tactics. Let me remind you that water was used during the Holocaust. Hitler was using it on the Jewish people in concentration camps to contain them because it was cold out. That's really what our government's doing. You notice they're using the same tactics on us, such as fluoride in the water. That was used in the Holocaust too against those people. And they're using these same tactics. It's just kind of like history repeating itself. It's nothing new, but I feel like we should have evolved past this as a human species. We need to evolve past this. If you can't evolve past this, you're not going to survive. So you can either evolve or you're going to see the end and go to another planet to learn. And I think really now is the time to graduate, to ascend, just to get out of here and to work on coming back together as a whole. Because that separateness, even that, I feel bad for the people that are that cut off from the earth. Because I'm deeply connected to the earth. I can feel the earth and if it's in pain or whatever. And I feel really bad for people that are so disconnected that they don't understand the connectedness of us all. And it's really a sad thing. It's that separateness that is fueling all of this. So, and we know what separates people, just the usual, you know, sports teams, politics, religions, things like that. Oh, California. California is kind of sinking. I wouldn't say like on a state level. Maybe I would, right? Maybe the whole state of California is sinking because of those fault lines. But I keep saying this. You're going to expect a big earthquake there. It's just a matter of time. The buildings are like sinking in near the fault line. You're noticing a lot of things go on with our food, such as bird flu and swine flu. Like I already saw the thing about swine flu where there was some kind of new basically disease that was not treatable in any way, where the people that were handling the pork got it, like they were getting it just from breathing it in and being around it. So I would say it's not very safe to be eating pork right now of any kind, just till it clears up. And the same thing with like birds. I know we just had Thanksgiving. You're seeing a lot of crazy things with the food. Just be really cautious and careful about where you're getting your food from. Okay, then I have a little bit more of a 5e comment. We all are kind of, I don't care if you're like accessing higher dimensions most of the time, we all have access to the third dimension. That's where most of us start out and most of us are learning it. And in the third dimension, you have a lovely gift, and this is a planet of free will. So you really, I can use my free will to do whatever I want. So if my videos don't resonate with you, you have the free will to go ahead and move along and turn them off. I'm hoping that my videos are resonating with the right people. I feel like I'm drawing the right people to me, so I don't really care if there's like mixed reactions. I feel that the right people, my words will resonate very deeply with. The people that are already connected, they're already tuned in, they're already on this path, you're already a light worker, you know you're a starseed, whatever it may be. I'm hoping that I am drawing the right people to me, and I'm seeing it everywhere. It's not like oh maybe no. I'm seeing magic everywhere. I'm seeing amazing connections. I'm making real connections, and it's really amazing. And there's magic everywhere. I can't really help you if you don't believe in magic. You're not going to see it. That's the thing. If you don't believe it, you can really limit yourself to that world that really works just like you think it does, the way you see with your eyes. But I'm just like opening myself up to a whole different world, different dimensions, different timelines, all sorts of things. I'm just trying to open myself up and be an open channel, and I'm using my third eye for discernment. I no longer, I don't really, it doesn't matter what I see with my eyes. It's my third eye that directs me, leads me. I've long ago killed my ego, that voice in my head, because I already made a choice of what I want to do in my life. I've gotten rid of that, and I view things with my third eye now. So I have a better perspective than I did when I was living unconsciously or I was asleep. I haven't been awake that long. I've only been awake like a year. My twin flame was awake like 15 years, and we had different kinds of knowledge. I was the matrix one, he was the observer. And when we got back together and merged back into one, he kind of like absorbed all of my knowledge that I had learned in the matrix off of me, and I kind of absorbed his knowledge. And then we began on the journey of unlocking our DNA, because I believe that I have so much information and knowledge just stored in my DNA and my cells, like on a cellular level, and I have yet to unlock all of that. I still have like a really bad case of amnesia where I don't even know. It's really complex where if I even get into where I'm from and what I really am and things like that. It's very vast and just vast. It's hard to put this stuff into words too. So don't like if I can't word this kind of stuff right, don't be like fallen off by that or let off. This is very complex stuff to put into words. Teaching is not my style. I'm still a student just like you guys, but this is a way that I can reach a lot of people with my energy. And the reason why I feel that my energy is needed is because I am nothing but divine love. I am full of divine love. I couldn't be happier right now. I'm vibrating really high. I'm excited. I know it's a crazy moon and everything, and I'm still excited. That's rare for me, right? Usually I try to hide during these moon energies. I'm kind of doing that, but I'm still doing a video. But I'm trying to like help people. And I believe that if I'm on my mission and I'm doing my purpose and I'm doing it from a heart-centered place, that the divine is going to send me you guys, or send me people that I can help on a deep level. So if you're drawn to me, it's not for a weird reason. I probably can direct you or lead you or heal you in some type of way, because I'm really a healer. That's what me and my twin flame do. And believe it or not, we all need healing. You might not be sick or have symptoms, but that doesn't mean your body is in perfect alignment like a crystal. We all just might need something. And I really feel on a deep level, and I know this, that this is the divine's work I'm doing. Like, it's really amazing to see. It's really amazing. Like, it's rewarding in a way that any other regular job couldn't be to me. I wouldn't be living my purpose or my mission. I felt really lost for a lot of years, and now I'm doing that. And me and my twin flame, we met a year ago. And a year into this, I'm seeing amazing results from all of this inner work that we're doing, and it's really amazing, magical, and rewarding. And so as someone who can see the future and see future probabilities and how they're going to play out more on a personal level, not as good on a collective level, because it's a little bit different to me, but on a personal level, I can see where I'm going to be in a year, much like a year ago I could see right now. And it's really amazing to me, and it's just so rewarding to be like touching people on a deep level. And I really feel that if people could go back to that connectedness, like, I'm connected so deeply with every one of you. Nothing is random, nothing is coincidence. Every moment in your life was planned out and with divine timing and happened divinely. It might not feel like some of these things were divine that we were going through, but really it was all divine. Everything is going exactly as planned, and you are right where you should be right now. And if you're watching my video, that's right here watching me for a reason. And this reason why I do these videos is because I'm here to remind you of things that you already know, things that you forgot, things that every one of us has on a cellular level. We all have this knowledge. We all have this potential. It's not like I'm special in some way. You guys can all find a way to meditate or tune in, or whatever way it is that you can tune into this divine energy, to this source energy, to this magic. You can do it. And that's why I'm so set on teaching people to raise your vibration. Someone got really mad at me when I said that because they had a low vibration. It was putting them in darkness. It really will. If you have a really low vibration, and toxins can do that, alcohol, drugs, we all know what can do that. It can take you to very dark places. I assure you, I have a lot of experience in the shadow world. I've been to hell on earth. I've been to lower astral realms. I've been to all different places, dimensions, whatever. And you can really make whatever you want out of this place. But we all forgot that we came to build heaven on earth here. We heard a call. We volunteered to come here. Most of us were not caught up in this karma. We didn't have to come here. We wanted to come and help in some way. And like, I don't know, I had a really hard time my whole life because I was off my mission. I was off my path. I was kind of lost and searching for things. I was trying to fill that void I had with anything, alcohol, drugs, bad relationships, whatever it may be. And none of that was rewarding. It wouldn't matter how much money I made or monetary success I had or whatever. I could have had everything monetary. It's not going to fulfill you. If you're not integrating your spirituality into your life in the right way, I don't mean in a religious sense. I mean, if you're not really working on that connection that you have, that connection between you and source, you're not going to be fulfilled in that way. That's what you're really looking for. We're searching for God. We're trying to find the elusive God. That's what all these Bibles, religious Vedas, whatever you call it, all these texts are about. They're trying to tell you what God is. I'll break it down real easy. God is love. I can be nice. I can get closer to God by being a nicer person in my relationship with my boyfriend. I can get close to God by being nicer to my pets, to my kids, to whoever it is, my parents, whoever it is in your life. You can be nicer to people, to everyone, because everyone is you on a deep level, and it also is the divine. It's very complex stuff. So one day you don't want to be looking at your cash record, and when you see that clip of you yelling at your ex-boyfriend or your parents or whoever it is you're fighting with, and you see that clip and God says, or the divine says, that was me you were yelling at. I was in that person too. Who do you think is in people? The God is in every person and everything. It's a very vast concept. So you want to work at being a nicer person. I think that was basically what Jesus was teaching. To be nice to each other, don't judge people, because you don't know. When you're judging someone, it just completely lowers your vibration, tangles you up in a way, and you just don't want that, because you will switch place with that person in an instant. You already did the second you judge them, you just won't realize it till later. So you really just don't want that. We are trying to alleviate ourselves from karma. We're trying to be enlightened, free from attachment, and that's the goal. And how we do that is we get rid of these earthly attachments, like things of a lower vibrational frequency, things like alcohol, smoking, I don't care what it is, a lot of sugar, a lot of junk food, soda, whatever it might be, your relationship, anything holding you down and making you vibrate at a lower level, get rid of it. It's not serving you. I don't care if it's a person, place, or thing. It could be many things. You need to work at vibrating as high as you possibly can, because your vibrational frequency is going to determine what kind of communication you can have with the other realms, what kind of dimensional access you'll have, etc., etc. It will really help you with your power too. I am drawing so many healers to me, so many light workers, gifted people. We all have gifts, spiritual gifts that we are meant to share with the world. These are gifts we brought here with us. We usually have the same gifts, so we're familiar, we know how to use them. But we got this amnesia, and we're now just kind of tapping into those. And we haven't tapped into anything that we can do. I know I feel really gifted and special, and it's amazing, and I'm grateful. But we haven't even tapped into it. These kids, the crystal kids, they're being born, they're already their higher selves with all their DNA activated. They don't have to ascend. They don't have to deactivate their DNA and turn it on and do this process like us. They're already highly evolved, and I don't think that scientifically they even know what these kids are capable of. And we're limiting these children. We're placing the same limits on these children that our parents placed on us. And I think it's time that we come together and we realize that we don't want to put all of our kids in one school and have that drilled out of them. That we want to kind of go back to embracing these skills and these gifts and these talents. And I think the most important thing that everyone can do right now is to realize that your energy is so important. It's so special. And I know for so long I was an empath and I wanted to help. And I would go about it in a bad kind of way, and it wouldn't help anyone in the end. So I think we're learning to respect that we have limited energy, that we need to take care of ourselves energetically first, or we're not going to be of any help to other people. That's why I am really careful that I'm on a really good schedule. I recharge myself every weekend. I unplug and recharge myself and do what I have to do to keep my chakras open and keep my energy clear. As a healer, you don't want to be taking on these blocks and blocking up your own energy. Just be really aware of it. I always talk about like salts and baths, and that's the best thing that anyone can do. I do use like Epsom salt sometimes, but I find I had to use the whole bag of it. So I've been using Himalayan salt. It has a higher salt content, and this will clean your aura and keep your chakras kind of balanced. You have to make sure that you're not being a sponge and just picking up on all this stuff. You really need to take that time to detox. I know it's getting cold outside, so there's not as much access to nature, but just really use that salt to purify yourself. Instead of eating regular salt, everyone should be eating Himalayan salt. It just will do something to your body on a cellular level. Salt is very healing. That's the best thing that you could do for your body, amazingly. Let me see, I kind of went on a rant. Let me see where I'm at. Then I got nervous. Hold on. So I'm confident though that I'm drawing the right people to me. Maybe this message isn't for everyone. A lot of people, I had some crazy, I guess it was the moon, these archons are flaring up, right? I can see all that, the crazy darkness flaring up for the moon, right? I had to take a step back from my stuff. But no, I'm seeing this kind of stuff go on, and maybe this message isn't for everyone. I guess maybe that's part of the magic where I might just be at a different level than a lot of people here. And I guess maybe that's just part of the magic, and I just have to accept that. And I know Shyla, my favorite Shyla, she thinks she's going to wake everyone up. And I support this mission. I support pretty much any of them. I support this mission, absolutely. Do I think it's realistic? Personally, I'll believe it when I see it. But I really love the mission, and I hope that she does succeed. I'm going to try to help her. And I'm going to try to do this. But do I think that really that all of humanity is going to wake up? I always say no. And maybe I just understand that darkness a little bit better than most people when I say that. I do have my reasons that maybe just every entity isn't meant to ascend. You can only get to the sixth density before you have to be positive. So I think that we're going to see kind of game-changing things. We're going to see really big things. It's going to be amazing. And how we're going to do that is we're going to, for every person that does wake up, it's going to raise our whole consciousness just a little bit. So the more people that do wake up, the more it will help everyone as a whole. And you know that on a deep level that my thoughts, they're creating the reality I see around me, right? And that's what every one of you guys is doing too. And then what the collective consciousness is everyone as a whole. So we need to be really aware of what we're creating in our own lives. We need to make shifts in our own lives. We need to make that shift to take care of our body, because we're realizing that ascension is a physical process. Even though it's very spiritual, it's physical. We are mind, body, soul complexes. Mind, body, soul complexes. So you really need to have all three of those blended together and merged together good. So we're kind of going back to that, and we're learning that maybe we were looking at spirituality wrong in following these religions blindly, and maybe that's not what it's all about, and we're kind of just getting back into what spirituality is about. Again, I'm going to tell people compassion burns protein. If you are a light worker, if you are a healer, if you're watching my video, you're burning more protein than the average person. Do the math of what protein is. You might want to start eating more of it in your diet. I'm seeing strikes over wages. I'm seeing just more of the usual protest strikes, people in the streets trying to start a revolution. And all that does, to me, all I see that doing with my third eye, all I see that doing is creating more bad changes, like earth changes, because the earth responds to that chaos. When we're not living in harmony with each other, the earth will respond on a deep level. Do you not see these fires, earthquakes? There was a big volcano. You're seeing crazy earth changes. That's just the way it works. That's just like the laws of gravity, nature. It's the way it works. So when people are trying to create a change by going out on the street and not getting along and rioting and causing, peaceful protests, whatever they call it, it's really having a bad effect. It's speeding things up. And most of those people live in the third dimension, so they probably want to be careful doing that because they don't want it to burn faster. So it's just really keep in mind that you're seeing all this perceived negative stuff, right? That's where I was going with this. You're seeing this perceived negative stuff, but no. You have to remember that out of any perceived negative situation, it's supposed to have a positive outcome. So you can look at, how about horrible things that have happened in the third dimension? Murders, we'll start there. How about a horrible tragedy, a murder, something tragic, okay? out of that, and then it makes me really painful to say that, out of those horrible situations, in the end, was supposed to come forgiveness, and was supposed to come good acts. Good acts. Out of some of the worst tragedies have come really good things. So I know that, and even with people, anything, any kind of negative trait we have, there's a positive one that goes with it. So just really use your discernment, because there's going to be a positive outcome from all of this. So I know it's hard to imagine that right now, because everything is just getting more and more chaotic. But just know everything is serving the divine, and everything is going exactly as planned. It's just, you know, it's kind of too big of a blueprint for any human to really understand. We might get glimpses of it or pieces of information. None of us can really comprehend that big blueprint. Just really pay attention to downloads from your higher self. For so long we were on Google looking for information, and then we realized that if we became quiet and went inside of ourselves and meditated and you know, worked on this ascension path, that we could access information straight from our higher self. And the goal is to embody your higher self all the time. So just be really cautious. When people will hear of buzzing in their ears, a lot of times that's related to it. Maybe the message didn't go through, your vibration wasn't quite high enough, or you were getting a message. So just really pay attention to these symptoms, symptoms, to these kind of details. The universe is speaking to you. I don't know if maybe there were these, you know, synchronicities and codes around my whole life and I didn't notice them because I was so unconscious, or if it's new. But either way, I'm seeing crazy number codes and synchronicities, and that's the universe letting you know that you're on the right path. And I personally, I don't like these lunar events. Go ahead and type questions, then I'm going to get to them right now. I don't like these moon events, these moon energies at all. But I'm learning that basically when we go into these energy storms, and by the way, the entire planet is in an energy storm right now. It just started like, yesterday or whatever, Monday. So it just started like Monday, and it will pick up intensity. It's kind of like you're a hamster in a ball getting kicked around. And so it's going to pick up intensity towards the end of it. You guys just remember you were just in the election storm. We're in another one. Congratulations. So I'm learning that instead of, if I'm going to go get kicked around like a hamster in a ball and thrown around and have to deal with a lot all at once, I may as well just jump right into it and try to use these energies to my advantage. So I'm becoming very energy sensitive. I'm learning how to use them to my advantage, and just how to like use the energy is good. So I'm gonna get to questions right now. Type them below. Let me see. And so be really specific. Bad headaches. If they're in the center of your head, I would say that's your third eye expanding. And it's really, it does hurt, like it's a painful process. Like I had headaches in the front of my head, but I also had headaches in the back of my head when I opened my crown chakra. I would say that was more painful than my third eye. But you can really, if it is in the center of your head, you can start eating coconut oil, as in raw, and it will help open your third eye. There are things that you can do, like we do a chakra opening service, me and my twin flame, where we'll take out any blocks and open all of your chakras that happen to be blocked, because they just get blocked throughout life. You can go to my site, sparksdivinelighealing.com. I also put the link on the top where it says what the video is about. And we do that really cheaply, and it works really amazing. And the goal is to have all of your chakras opened. That's what enlightenment is. All enlightenment is having all of your chakras open and having lots of source energy flowing through your body. I'm beginning to be, every day I can hold more and more source energy. I'm like a beacon of light. I hold light, and every day I'm holding more and more light, and it's really amazing. It really is. So the goal is to vibrate as high as possible and to be able to hold as much source energy as you can. And it's when our chakras get blocked, we don't have any of this source energy flowing through our body, and basically our bodies start to like kill us in a nice kind of way. Because we were made, we're just made as divine creatures that thrive on light. We live on light. Ultimately, people are gonna not have a need for food and will live on light eventually. So that's what a lot of higher entities do. They don't have a need for food. They live on this source energy, this light, and it's really amazing. So the best thing you can do is energy healing for headaches. I was really lucky that when I went through this process, I did it with my twin flame so he could heal me anytime I needed it. And energy healing works right away. I do tell people that if you do any kind of healing to your third eye, that it makes you really sleepy. Like, it'll make you sleepy. On that note, I wanted to talk about, I've been doing a lot of healing and healing work in the dream world too. So there's just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes too, but everyone is very helped here. I don't think people realize on what level, like, we are all so divinely protected and helped and loved. And you might not know it, but there's always a lot going on behind the scenes for every person here, and it's really amazing. And now there's just really a time of healing on a collective level. I think everyone's been through a lot, and we've been getting poisoned on a deep level a lot of our lives for the foods we've been eating and so on and such forth. And I think now is the time for healing our bodies, our mind, and our soul. And any kind of physical problem you're going to have is going to come from a spiritual nature. We're spiritual beings. So when we get disconnected, it's very painful. That's why the third dimension is so painful. That separateness, that perceived illusion of separateness is so painful. Like, so painful. You get ringing in your ears a lot. I guess that's a good sign though. I look at ringing in your ears like, and then be careful. I'll go back to the headache real fast. A headache is a sign of psychic attack. I can tell the difference, but I can tell immediately, like, if someone wishes to harm me on an energetic level, it will alert my third eye in a painful kind of way. So be cautious of that too. Use your discernment. But the ringing in your ears generally would be a good sign. It's kind of like, I look at it almost like we're going up in altitude. Like, if you ever flew in a plane, it's similar to that. Like, your ears will pop and ring, and similar to that. It's kind of like the planet is moving through space on a really deep level, and we're all getting hit with crazy energy from it right now. Like, so much that if our planet just did this without assistance from off-world, we all would have died. Like, we couldn't handle all this energy at once. This energy had to be shielded and then kind of deflected to us. So we have a lot of off-world help too, so that we can make this ascension. We wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. So, and I'm noticing this moon energy is also making, I can't sleep at all. Like with these moon energies, these events. Like, I can't sleep at all. Like, it makes it really hard to sleep. So just really pay attention. The ringing ears could be a good sign. The moon energy is making you emotional. Yeah, it literally will make people fight, make people not get along. It will mirror everything that you like and don't like about your life in a deep way. And this moon is about freedom. It's about freedom and philosophy. And, Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it's about freedom. What's keeping you here, what's tying you to earth, is really going to be reflected in your face. You need to get rid of things that are not serving you on a deep level. I hear people putting timestamps on this stuff, you guys. Like 4 month timestamp on pretty much the whole world ending, and the new one being created for good. Like, I hear timestamps that seem kind of I wouldn't say that, because I will never put a time date on things. I see that time doesn't work like that. If time works more like a series of events that have to happen. But I'm just going to tell you, I see a lot of really tuned in people putting dates on things. I would be concerned that now is the time, and that you need to start to really speed up this inner work you're doing. You need to really stay focused, because it's going to start to pay off. Those that are doing this work now, 2017 will be a year of abundance. People that are not putting in any spiritual work are going to fall hard. So if people are really descending and ascending, we're all at different levels. The best thing that you can do is keep doing this spiritual work, because now is the time. I will just say, like, we are living this. Like, this is real. We all saw the end in Atlantis. This is not a new concept to us. It's very realistic that the world gets wiped out every so often. So this is something new we're doing, and this is the time. Just get focused, stay focused, and figure out what your mission is. Yeah, the moon, I dislike the lunar energy. I'm much more a sun person. I dislike the energy that comes with it. It brings out a lot of craziness, traffic, whatever. I dislike it. So this is, I'm surprised I'm even doing the video, but I have to. It's just the day of week it is. But really, I'm the type that will just stay in and hide from these moon energies. I'm not a fan of them. Let's see. Let's see. Letting me know to pay attention. Yes, pay attention. For real. I don't do this because it's fun. I do this because it's how I am. It's just my mission and how I'm guided to help. So this is the kind of light work I'm doing. I really hope to open you guys up. I don't expect anyone to completely have the same beliefs and have the same path or whatever. But I feel that we can relate in some type of way. I am a mirror to you in some type of way. We just kind of have to find that connection. I guess we all have it. So just really we all had to start paying more attention to each other because we're all aspects of the divine. And I think that when we put together these gifts and these spiritual powers, or whatever you want to call them, on a collective level, it will be amazing. Amazing. I think it'll be really amazing. That's what Native Americans used to do. They used to basically trade based on skills, and that's how their money system was. I think that would be amazing. I've heard that might be how things go back to. I believe we have to have an economic collapse of some sort to really achieve this. So things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. I'm living between worlds and between dimensions. I go into 3D, but I live in 5, and I'm kind of going back and forth between dimensions depending on what's going on. So I try to stay aware and focused, just because I think that's ultimately where that power is going to come from, knowledge. I don't agree with knowledge being kept in high places from us. I don't agree with it. My twin flame has a, I guess you would say, he was a Knight Templar, a Mason, and into those kind of things. And a lot of his learning took him there. We just went on different paths. And I don't really agree with the concept that, oh no, anyone can go get that knowledge if they want it, because that's not true to me at all. It doesn't ring true to me. And I have a really amazing gift that I can see through the bullshit. So that doesn't ring true to me. Oh no, that information is accessible to anyone. No, it's not. It's being hidden. And I don't agree with that. I think that we need to share this knowledge, because history repeats itself. That's why our history is being hidden from us. So to anyone who thinks that this is reality in any, this is fantasy in any type of way. I had someone say that clearly I'm blending fantasy and reality. I assure you, this is complete reality. This is complete reality. This is all of your reality too, by the way. And I feel really bad for you if you're really looking at what's going on with your eyes and watching the news and believing the lies all around you. You have to wake up to the fact that everything you ever knew was a lie eventually, and that this is not the way the world works. And I really hope you do that. And this is in no way, shape, or form any kind of fantasy. I don't merge fantasy and reality. I don't have to. I've done this many times before. I'm just kind of getting back into the groove of it. But I did teach here during Egyptian times. This is something I used to do, and I've done many times here. And I don't have to do that. My twin flame is actually, as in from space, not from here. He wasn't born on this planet. There are many entities, and there's many people that look just like us that have been living here forever. Like, people have been living here forever, and we all have space ties. So this is not in any way, shape, or form like a fantasy. This is all of our reality. And I really hope that everyone can kind of tune in and tap into this kind of stuff. That is the goal, that we go back to being spiritual beings. And if you feed those ego drives, and then I'm noticing these people are saying this stuff because it's archons controlling their mind. Like, you have to break out of that stuff. You have to take back your mind, body, and your soul at some point to liberate yourselves. And those like lower egoic drives, like money and oil and greed or whatever, anger, jealousy, that are keeping people tied here, they are not fulfilling in any way. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Go talk to like some of the celebrities. Doesn't matter how much money you have. It's not going to make you happy in any way. So we have to go back to embracing who we really are. And I think that's ultimately the question. Who are we? And I'm learning that question is very vast. Like, I believe you can have more than one trait. So I'm learning that question's vast. I just really encourage everyone to look into who they are and where they're from, because this is a really big universe, and we all have ties elsewhere. Let's see. You always see repetitive sequences and numbers. You're seeing them more and more. Those would be synchronicities, or what I just said, number codes. And yeah, the universe is letting me know that I'm on the right path. So I might sound completely crazy, like, and I feel bad because, like, my family went through a really painful death, okay? My family was torn apart by it, and my family had a lot of grief, and I did too. I just, you know, did everything like everyone else and processed things the way I was taught to, right? And it really took me a long time to open my heart chakra because I had stored so much grief and pain from what went on. And I know that everyone on a deep level in my family had that same kind of grief and pain. So it took me a really long time to do that, but I was able to do that, and I was able to shift my perspective and get rid of that pain, because now I realize, now I have a closer relationship with my mother than I would have had if she was alive. And I realized, you know, this is just her path and my path, and this is how the universe works, and that this, that I can carry on my relationship from the other realm. Like, it's very accessible to me. So this kind of got rid of my grief, but my family's still having a lot of pain, because my family, they're not accessing higher dimensions at this point. They're very closed off to this kind of stuff, I believe. So I know that that really helps my pain and helps shift my perspective to know that I know we're taught death is so permanent, and oh my God, you're never going to see the person again, and maybe when I die I'll get judged and go to heaven or hell, right? But I'm probably going to go to hell because I didn't get saved or whatever, you know? So you know, that's just the way the world works. I was taught like you guys. I believed that, right? But that's not at all how it works. So now that I can shift my perspective, it takes care of that pain. Like, that pain was silly to me, but you have to understand that during those years, I stored that pain. That pain was very real to me. That grief was very real. So it took me a long time to open my heart chakra. Now, the goal is that I went through that death and that pain. I died. Anyone who's lost someone who died, the goal was that you go through this and it opens your heart chakra. Like, it opens it. And then you can be open to unconditional divine love. We had to be open to it. We had to experience that pain to be open to this love. So, unfortunately, that doesn't always work the way it's intended to. A lot of people store this grief and they close their heart chakra, and then they're not open to love later. And when you have a closed heart chakra, it's going to make you not as empathic. That's what makes people have no empathy, a closed heart chakra. So it's really not good. It's not good for your love life or any aspect of your life. If you want to be a healer, what's going to make you a good healer is having an open heart chakra. So I believe, like, when you're feeling this pain in your head, I really believe that, like, your third eye is just going to keep expanding all the time. I really feel that way. I feel like mine's going to keep expanding all the time. Like, maybe it's just something that keeps expanding. So you're going to still maybe feel like physical symptoms. The best thing that you can do for any of these blocks is to drink a lot of water. I just told someone to go to the grocery store who's feeling symptoms or sick. Drink, get some oranges or lemon and put it in your water. You should be eating oranges or lemon. It will help flush the toxins out of your body and help with these symptoms. My ears are ringing right now too. That's just really high frequencies. The kind of energy that I'm dealing with right now and channeling and working with right now, it's very intense. It's very high. It makes me thirsty. It makes me kind of jittery. It's just very high, like, frequency, like that. So it's just really high. You can really feel it. That's why we had to raise our vibration, because those entities that are trying to communicate with you had to lower their vibration just to communicate with us. So the higher vibe we can be, even as high vibe as I can get. I'm as high vibe as I can get right now, right? This is just my vibration. So you're going to have a certain vibration. It's just going to never be high enough. Like, you're always going to be trying to work at raising it. So that's why this is something that you have to work at every day. And you don't have to do a lot if you're just on this path. The whole planet's getting hit with energy that is activating our DNA. And what is in our DNA? Divine love. Divine love. This is a process where we went through life, and hopefully any bad quality that we had was removed. And at this point, we really should be all just divine beings that are just radiating divine love. And that's what a really good light worker does. I'm trying to share divine love with you guys. Your energy's messing with your son. He can feel it. Yeah, I'm getting more and more sensitive to these energies. a lot of these kids are very sensitive. Like I say, they're very connected. They're very tuned into source, and it's really amazing. The more connected and tuned in I get, the more sensitive I am to my surroundings. I'm very sensitive. It brings up a good point to like I can tell when someone needs me. I don't have to check my messages. I'm just tuned into a lot of people, and I can just really tell. We're getting more and more tuned into each other to just source, and we're really just working on that. And it's amazing. Top of your head used to tingle like crazy. That's your crown chakra opening. It makes me itch my head when I read that, because it will make my head really itchy. I could feel the crystal coming out of my skin too, so it will make me really itchy for a while. I did go through periods where I was itchy from the crystals coming out of my skin too. I went through the head itching, the pain. I think my head physically grew right here in the back and the front. So there are physical symptoms that you're going to notice. Good morning, Grace. What I do when I suffer from a huge loss of hope and a complete lack of relationship in your life, you're going to start a relationship with yourself. That was the goal all the time. A lot of you guys that are with your twin flame or have heard of twin flames kind of realize that the goal is to be reunited with your twin flame or the other half of your soul. You're going to merge back into one. You guys kind of know this, that the end game is love. But unfortunately, we go around looking for that love when we're not ready to love ourselves. And you have to completely love yourself to be able to love someone else. So step up the self-love, start taking better care of yourself, and just start treating your body better and loving yourself more. Because it's when we're looking for love in someone else that we're never going to find it. So that's the wrong thing to do. Basically, just start loving yourself and working on improving your own life. Because the universe will bring you together with love. You were never meant to go find it. Your lives are divinely orchestrated. So if you want love, it's better to pray for it and send out the vibration. That's the best thing that you can do. Don't look for it at all. So just focus on yourself right now. Lots of light, Carrie. I need your twin in me to do it, for I'm a constant battle either with my health or my relationship. I feel very lost right now. Yeah, I when I do readings, I'll naturally kind of take on some blocks, but I would recommend anyone having their chakras opened. It's really amazing. And I'm at a battle to always keep mine open just from doing this kind of work. So as a healer, it's important that you find some way to keep your chakras open all the time and clear. And you can do that through meditation. How do you know what chakra is blocked? I can feel it on a physical level. That's how me and him are able to do it. We can just pick up on it. It's something I feel on a physical level. And then my twin flame will feel it in a different way. So we'll be able to tell with your energy. It's something that's amazing that it can be done remotely. Like I'm learning, we all are energetic beings, as in we all are made out of energy. That's really what woke me up, actually, would be I realized that I was being harvested energetically and being eaten and drained energetically, and it really kind of propelled me into waking up and like, oh wow, that explains a lot, right? So I realize we're all energetic beings, and so I now know that these medications that are being pushed on people, I don't believe that anyone should ever be put medications in their body of any type. I understand that there's really serious things going on, and I'm still saying these kind of things. So I believe that if you have any kind of illness or health problem, that is your higher self's last resort. No one wants to make you sick. Basically, it means you're not listening. Basically, it means you're not listening. Anger is caused by repressed emotions and repressed anger. We really are energetic beings, and these blocks can cause illness and very serious consequences, as you know. We block ourselves up. We do this to ourselves. And it's just really important that you keep your energy clear and unblocked, because it can really cause serious health problems. And even if it's not causing health problems, it can cause problems where you can't manifest things properly. It can lower your vibration, whatever. It's just going to have an energetic, not good consequence. So we are energetic beings, and this stuff, the healing we do is done remotely. I do readings on video chat. You can set it up on my site if you're interested, but I just recommend that at some point everyone should probably get a reading or have their chakras open or do some type of energy healing. It doesn't even have to be with me. Go get some type of energy healing. Look into these kind of things because you were lied to about how your body works. And I really think that we all have to go back to being in good health and just being merged together as a healthy mind, body, spirit, soul complex, spirit complex, because it's really amazing. I've never been happier. I feel good every day. I'm healing myself. Me and my twin flame had a really hard mission where I had the worst health problems you could probably ever have. I had stage 3 cancer with real bad chemotherapy, the whole deal. And then I went through a windshield of a car. I broke like 50 bones. I went like 50 feet through the windshield of a car at 80 miles an hour. And I died several times during this, and it was a really hard process. So I understand that I was supposed to be on medications, really hard narcotics or opiates until I died, basically. And I understand these kind of battles. I was on, like, at one point in time, I mean, I was on thousands of medications. I was on so many medications. I had real bad health problems. So I understand. Now I am on completely holistic things. I take CBD and ginger and like holistic things for the same ailments. And I'm healthy and happy. And my vibration is no longer being dragged down to that low vibration, because that's what medications do to you. They keep you trapped here and they keep you at a low frequency. They're not healing you, or you wouldn't have to keep taking these pills. That's not how we heal. So I really just think that we have to have good balance within ourselves. It's all about balancing your body and balancing the aspects of yourself. So that's really what we have to go back to. And I understand I charge money. I'm not gonna I have to be very careful with my energy, and I have to help those that need it. So it does cost money for an energy exchange with me. It does. But I will tell you something. It's probably the best money you've spent if you're spending money on all the garbage around us. It's a very good investment. Start investing in yourself and in your health. And you don't have to do that by getting a reading or energy healing from me. You can do that by learning and just taking better care of yourself. That's what I want everyone to do. So that's why I do these live feeds, to kind of motivate you and inspire you to start taking better care of your soul, your mind, and your body, because you need all three. Basically, it's not going to work without one of them. So I get we live in prison planet, economic collapse. I do get where I am. I really do, better than anyone else. But I really feel that I can help every person in some way. So if you're drawn, you can go ahead and check out my site or whatever. I do have a lot more like information on there. I'm not the best writer anymore. I did have a lot of training in school for that, but I'm not the best writer. But I have lots of information. It's a little hard to sort through, but I do have lots of information that I learned on my journey. And I did this really rapidly, this whole process, probably faster than anyone else. I had to catch up. I was behind schedule, whatever. But I really put a lot of what I learned on there. And I learned from everywhere. No religion could contain me. I'm just all over the place with it. And it makes sense to me. It resonates. This is based on my things I've actually seen with my eyes. I'm lucky that I've been shown a lot of things. And if you stay pure of heart and you stay, this is what you want, and you want to do this, and you're doing your mission, you will be shown more responsibility as you go along. And it's really just going to help you. We have to be service of others in some way, because service of others is an illusion too, because really everyone is you, a different incarnation. So when I'm helping someone else, I'm helping myself on a deep level. It's hard to describe, but service of self is the worst thing you could do. We have to be service of others in some type of way. This is just how the universe has guided me, that I can help people. So I really just think that everyone needs to do some like soul searching and just find out, what is your purpose? What are you supposed to be doing? What are your gifts? What are you actually supposed to be doing here? Because I'm pretty sure it's not working 9 to 5, 70 hours a week on Prison Planet and just dying at the end of your life with maybe a house and 2 cars. Like, I just feel like we have a deeper purpose for being here, and that maybe we just have like an amnesia, and we need to kind of get back to that. And I'm hoping that this information will kind of trigger stuff you have lost and forgotten inside of yourselves. You have to learn how to love yourself. You do. Yeah. Let me tell you about the hardest relationship I've ever been in. Would be my twin flame relationship. very hard, okay? I know everyone wants the prince that's gonna come rescue them and take them away. Mine is a knight, like a real knight, like he was knighted. But I will tell you that it has been nothing but deep, deep work on both of our parts. And he thought that he was perfect and prepared for this, like all the way. He thought he was great, right? Till he met me. This will trigger everything inside of yourselves. You can't, nothing will be hidden. It's just really divine and inspiring, but it's also a lot of hard work. So the more inner work that you can do now to prepare any other relationship you've ever had in your life, every person had a trait your twin flame has. It was to prepare you. So you've been preparing for this. So I know a lot of people want to jump right in. Where's my flame? Oh my God. It doesn't work like that. You're right where you should be. Relax, breathe, and use any relationship as a mirror. But I had to be complete as a person. I had to be complete. I had to complete myself on a deep level, go back to being service to others to be reunited with my twin flame. I believe it was basically, I was at the point where we could be reunited and we could work together on our mission. But I had to totally shift and want to be service of others and start to wake up. Well, every time you heal yourself, you end up asleep. That's funny because this seems to be the topic of the day. I was just explaining to someone that I was healing them in my sleep because I'm doing a lot of healing in the dream world too. So when you are being healed when you sleep, you have to be asleep. A lot of times people are taken and healed by like grays or whatever too. There's a lot of healing going on in the dream world right now. I've been working overtime during these moon energies trying to help. I just jumped right into this storm. I'm with it. I'm here. There's a lot of light workers and healers that are helping right now, and a lot of that's going on in the dream world. I feel kind of crazy, like I don't know whether I should be tired, but I'm not. But I wonder if I should be tired because I was working all night in the dream world, all night, like healing and teaching healing and kind of things. So I was doing a lot, but I'm really like energized, and it's kind of like a mind fuck because I feel like I should be exhausted at this point. But if I was using my own energy, I would be, but you have to understand this is a divine plan, and somehow it's kind of energizing. So really when you're doing this kind of work, it's amazing. Hold on one second. Hang on one sec. Alright, so it's just really kind of energizing. There's just a lot going on. And anyone can ask for healing. Anyone can ask their higher selves before you go to sleep. You can ask, can I get healed tonight? And it will work. You might even remember some of these things, right? So you can ask, anyone has access to this type of stuff, but just know there's a lot of healers behind the scenes where I'll see, like, I saw someone, the person I was talking about that I was healing in my sleep last night, I saw a Facebook post, like, you know, you're putting your whole life on Facebook pretty much. A lot of people can see what's going on with you in more than one way, whatever, in all different types of ways, not just Facebook. So there are a lot of healers that are working behind the scenes to heal people and to help. And we don't want recognition. It's just something I'm doing like behind the scenes. So you are all being healed on a deep level. Now is the time for healing. And you're going to do that. It's kind of funny that I hear that, oh, you're being healed in your sleep. It's funny because they say on an earth level that you have to be asleep for your body to heal itself. So it kind of makes sense to me. Too much going on behind the scenes, I guess, in many ways, right? We had to tip that balance somehow, right? We had to tip that balance. You know, without good, there couldn't be evil. Without evil, there couldn't be good. It's kind of both ends of the spectrum. That's why it's better to walk the middle ground and not necessarily align yourselves with team good or evil. Just kind of be neutral. Don't feed into polarity. We all have good and bad aspects in us. You're ridding yourself of PTSD, fibromyalgia, and chronic pain through meditation. Yes. I will give you advice that I probably might have killed someone for if I heard at the time when I got it, right? No, I heard that if you live in your light body, you're not going to feel pain the same, right? That sounds crazy to someone in a lot of pain, but I will assure you that's true. I am living in my light body, and I no longer feel pain the same way. On the same intensity at all. And I've had this same pain issue for like going on over 10 years. It's not something that's going to go away. It's a chronic condition. So I can tell you that it will completely allow you to feel pain, like on a different level. I use CBD for pain, but it's something that I have to play around with a lot. I take the CBD pills, the tincture, I am on canna butter, which is something that we make ourselves, a medication we make ourselves, and I'm always trying to like play around with the gummy kind of CBD, or like experimenting. It's not something that I've perfected yet. I do find, I put on my site the pills that we use, they're really good. CBD is expensive though. You know, your health insurance will give you some free garbage to keep you sick. You know, you can go put that in your health insurance. CBD is something you're gonna have to pay for yourself. I do have a lot of problems with that because I believe marijuana, I'm not encouraging smoking it in any way. We'll get to that after. I'll go on a rant about that, just to clarify. But if you're looking at it from like a plant type of view, I believe that marijuana had the capacity to heal every condition on this planet. It was brought here from space to heal us. And so it's been, you know, severely mishandled so that its medical potential can't be used. Like in the UK, they're making it illegal because basically when people start to use CBD, they're going to buy less pharmaceuticals. So it's kind of like a threat to, I guess, maybe governments, pharmaceutical companies, whoever it's a threat to. You know how that goes, right? So, people ask me all the time, is smoking weed going to affect expand my consciousness, or is it going to keep me trapped here? Does it have like a good or bad effect on consciousness? I will tell you, that when anything becomes an addiction, it could be coffee, it becomes bad for us. So, just don't cross into that addiction territory and rely on it or need it, and you'll be okay. But I don't encourage smoking weed to expand consciousness, only because I did use, drugs to try to expand my consciousness when I was like a teenager and younger. Well, I'm talking like mushrooms, LSD, things like that. And I will tell you that it can tear holes in your aura, and not weed, but other psychedelic drugs can open you up to having like a hole in your aura and possibly negative entity things. You know, they're not good. You're not supposed to be using drugs to access higher levels of consciousness. You're never going to get that far doing that. Even if you can access some higher levels of consciousness, you're never going to use that as an expansion tool. It's actually going to be detrimental to you in the long run. So weed isn't going to keep you trapped here. It's not going to lower your vibration like cigarettes or alcohol. I would recommend it most out of anything. I would recommend it for pain, for chronic pain. Smoking it too. Yes, you might need a combination of CBD and smoking it. It should be used as a medicine. So if you feel the need for anxiety, for pain, I can go on and on. Maybe it's ADHD, maybe it's fibromyalgia. There's a list of like 100 things we could be used for. So I think overall it's an amazing medicine. It should be used as a medication. That's how I view marijuana, even in the illegal form. So just use your discernment. When I say that you shouldn't be using drugs to access high levels of consciousness, I access higher levels of consciousness completely sober, like 100% sober. My goal is to be chemical free. I had someone asking me about alcohol. You should know that I don't drink, I don't do anything. I'm always trying to purify my energy, and that's what I'm teaching you guys. So I'm going to be able to access way higher levels of consciousness now than I ever did on any kind of drugs. It doesn't matter what kind of drug it was. I'm going to be able to do that now, sober, much, much better, because those drugs are going to keep you at a low vibration and just keep you trapped here. We're trying to liberate ourselves, and I assure you that completely sober, accessing way higher levels of consciousness without any kind of substances. Yes, we are changing dimensions. It's kind of like channel surfing. It's kind of like channel surfing where we're going back and forth. Like our plane is basically moving through space. And so we're basically going back and forth between the third, fourth, and fifth dimension right now. Possibly higher too. We're just kind of like spinning. And we really are going to anchor into the fifth dimension, and those that don't have a high enough frequency or a high enough vibration are going to be out of alignment with it, and they're not going to be able to handle the frequencies, and they're going to go somewhere else. Basically, we're going to have an entire shift, like a planetary shift at some point. Like, it's going to happen. We're so close, and I think it's really amazing and beautiful, and I'm so excited about it. I can see the perspective where some people might feel like it's the end of the world still, end times, right? I kind of like you're living in end times. Maybe people should that aren't on this ascension path. They should be scared. Maybe they should be scared. It's revelations or whatever. Maybe, but to me, it's a new beginning. Might be end times to some people. Maybe they will see the end. That's up to them. We have free will and it's a choice. So maybe they will. But for me, it's a new beginning and I'm so excited about it. I've never been so excited. Like, I had to go through a lot to get to where I am now. You have to understand. So it's been a long time coming and it's exciting. I know everyone's tired. I see the theme. We're tired, but we're still here, present, and doing our job, right? So I know I hate these moon energies. Dislike isn't a good word, but I will assure you that this weekend you're gonna have a rest. This is more like a mini storm. Like, we just went through a big one with the election. This is kind of like, I get a feeling like kind of mini. Like, it's not a big deal. Just deal with it, and it'll calm down a little over the weekend. And you're seeing things happen. Unfortunately, with these moon energies come like earthquakes, and you know, they had volcano just erupt somewhere, and kind of earth things. The earth goes crazy too when the moon comes close. So you're gonna see more crazy stuff. It's not over yet. There's still that kind of moon energy, but it's ideal for manifesting. So kind of use this energy to get what you want done. Just really start to think about your future, because if you can picture where you want to be like in a year, anything not in alignment with that will start to fall out of the way for you, and the universe will help you achieve that. So really just set goals, dream big. Bad dream last night, disturbing, about a shapeshifter. You have to realize that you're very powerful. That's why you're attracting this darkness to you. Or you can look at it like that's darkness within you that you need to conquer. It depends on your perspective, but ultimately I feel like that maybe I have a different kind of energy, and I draw this kind of darkness to me because of my light. I also heard that, like, the thing is with like shapeshifters or anything kind of that you would place in a negative entity kind of category, they're not like us in the fact that we have amnesia and we're trying to wake up and remember where we came from. They already know who we are and who they are and everything. They have a lot more information about us than you might think. It's very it's just kind of a different ball game. But just know that they're attracted to you because of your light and because of your power, and don't let anyone drain that from you. Shapeshifters are famous for draining your energy from afar. The best thing I can advise you to do is cut all of your cords, because you probably have these kind of problems in your real life and they're playing out in the dream world. I had similar experiences, so just be really careful of the people around you, and getting rid of anyone that feels draining to you. Maybe, like, do you ever have someone that you hang out with? They might seem like real excited or high vibe like me, right? And then you hang out with them, but then you go home and you're drained. So pay attention, because sometimes people can seem more high vibe than they are, but ultimately your energy is going to tell you. If you feel like drained on an energetic level, just stay away from that person. If you feel energized, hopefully I make you guys all feel really energized. That's what I'm trying to do, and give you like an energy kick. Then gravitate towards those kind of people that affect your energy in a positive way. You're going to start to be able to discern. Like, for so long, I was getting drained all the time. I know all about it. And so just really start to use your discernment. Your energy will let you know. Another good saying is that your body can pick up on bad vibrations. Your body is telling you amazing things. Like, you have this amazing intuition, all of you, and you're learning how to tune into that intuition. I constantly, you guys don't see me, you guys see me doing these videos, but when I'm at home and I'm trying to relax and I need my brain to stop and just calm down, right? I watch like ID Discovery, psycho killer stuff, right? But I'm always guessing like who did it, and, you know, playing around like with it. I'll always say, oh, this person, I'll get a lot of information off of it. And I use that to practice, to sharpen my intuition. It sounds silly, but even when I'm just relaxing, I'm always trying to work at this and work at sharpening my intuition and just relying on it. Because we're going to go from listening to that voice in our head to listening to our intuition. And that's ultimately going to be a game changer. So just start to strengthen your own intuition. All I can do is tell you maybe something that resonates with you and confirms what you already know, or remind you of some stuff. Ultimately, you're going to know a lot better than me. Yes. Goals. I like Jessica Lynn goals. That sounds perfect. I'll still be here at the New Year's, and start setting goals for yourself just like that. I'm not even joking. Start to think about what direction you want your life to go into too, because for so long we were just kind of like responding to the universe, which was responding to our vibration, and it kind of, you know, sleep haze. Like now we're conscious and we can change what we're creating, and it's amazing. Like before, I just had no power in my life. I was just kind of, you know, floating through these scenarios, and now I'm at a place where I can consciously create whatever I want, and so can all of you guys. So when you're like, oh, what's my future? What's in my future? What do you see for the future? Anything that you want to create. Anything. Like, you are infinite. You can create whatever you want now. You're not karmically tied here. You guys should be wrapping that up where you no longer have karma. If you did, you're learning these things. You're learning how the universe works. So just really think about, where do you want to go in a year? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? What would fulfill you? Just start to kind of think about how you can make small shifts with your life. My mom's name, oh, it's like Ascension. I can't say it. Ascension, like Ascension. You're an angel for sure. I love it. I'm drawing. I don't really know, but I think you have angelic qualities like me, where maybe some people are starseed angel mixed. Let me explain this one a little bit better. How about on a deep level, I can kind of just get feelings or a deep sense of knowing that's guiding me, but maybe when I first met my flame, I saw that he had angel wings, as in they were big, and I saw them in the astral world, and I saw them with my own eyes. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to these questions. I saw them with my own eyes, right? So I've seen this. So put 2 and 2 together. My twin flame and me only have one soul, right? So if my flame was to be an angel, I would be an angel. So this is something I've seen, but I also know that this life, my twin flame is actually from space. Like, he wasn't born on this planet. So he clearly has alien ties this life, right? So that's clearly what he is. But I've been told that I'm an incarnated angel, but I have a lot of like indigo soul traits, right? So, which I've also heard people get confused with angelic qualities, because like, especially if an angel has negative programming in this life, they're going to act differently. So I don't really know. It's really vast. So obviously we're kind of like a mix of angelic starseed qualities. So I believe that the soul is vast, because I've also been a crystal child in my past life. I've been human. I've been many different things. So I think our soul is just so vast. It's very hard to understand. But I love labels, because it helps me kind of identify people, sort people out, whatever, just relevancy. My twin flame hates labels. Now I see why. I really get why on a deep level. But you definitely, angels will have like names like Michael or Angela or whatever. They'll have kind of angel kind of names. Let's see. Yes, keep putting the spiritual work in. This is my favorite. My grandmother is RH negative blood. She's starting to forget a lot of stuff. She's always seeing things. Amy, that was so that you could have someone. I actually think now that you're reminding me, I've already seen me telling you this, but when I start to tell you, we've already had this conversation in the dream world. I really forget exact details. I've really already given you some kind of education on this in your dream. It sounds silly. But your grandmother basically, that gives her some kind of alien DNA, but she has psychic qualities. And you're going to, even if you don't have RH negative blood, you're going to have picked a family that had psychic qualities, even if they were dormant, so that you could inherit those qualities. So you did pick that kind of family for a reason, even though they're not using those skills and they're not really present. You have those kind of skills. I did have this whole conversation with you before. I'll have to talk to you more in private now that I'm reminded of it. Atlantis ended. Yes, they turned away from spirituality. And that's ultimately what we're seeing here. So we know how that ends. We've lived so many lives here. We've lived in most of these great civilizations. So we know how that ends. So we have to go back to being spiritual beings. This is the time that the Hopi Indians prophesized about with the picture, where you can either go back, but there's only a certain point that you have to change. Well, you're at that point. You can do this now or you're not going to do it. So just really think about what you want to do and where you guys want to be in the future. I'm going to let you guys know, go on that note. But I'm sending you all love and light. And I'll be back to do a live video tomorrow and just kind of enjoy these moon energies. Yeah, enjoy them. Kind of use them to manifest what you want. Be really cautious of your thoughts because they're creating your reality, but on a like really crazy level right now, like a million times more than usual. And remember, the divine is creating our lives, but we're co-creators and we're helping with our thoughts and our words. So just stay conscious. I see a lot of darkness, archon attacks, whatever. Just know that you're vibrating much too high for that. Nothing can phase you, and just keep up being those beacons of divine light. And namaste, love and light.